Hi, everyone. Welcome back. In this episode of What's New with Microsoft, we're continuing our series on Copilot Agents. For anyone who's new here, my name is Wade Walker. I'm the Vice President of our Microsoft Alliance at the Sourcepass MCOE. And in my role, I'm committed to transforming complexity within the Microsoft ecosystem to you and everybody else. Today, we're continuing our Copilot Agents series. This time, we're going to continue our discussion on the custom Copilot agent that I made earlier and discussing Copilot agents that you can make yourself. In the previous episode on Copilot agents, I discussed an agent that I created for our internal use here at the Sourcepass MCOE to maximize the benefits of Microsoft's incentives. For more information on the previous episode, please go check it out on our YouTube channel. And as a reminder, Copilot agents differ from regular Copilot. Regular Copilot is designed to provide quick, fast, context-aware help across your Microsoft 365 data and information on the internet, whereas Copilot agents are target focused on exactly the information you want to do more of a deep dive in. As I mentioned in our previous episode, you might be asking yourself, why would anybody want to create a custom agent? Think of these three key reasons for doing so. First, unlock business value within your organization by leveraging an agent. Second, agents use the most updated Copilot model, OpenAI's GPT-5, which was announced earlier in this month of August. This is a high throughput model for fast, straightforward responses. In addition, it's a deep reasoning model for complex multi-step tasks. And then lastly, Copilot agents are actually really easy to create in Microsoft's Copilot Studio, and they can leverage your internal domain level knowledge, workflows, your data sources, and more. In addition, they can leverage internet-based resources as well. Now, let's revisit the custom Copilot agent that I created, focus on Microsoft's incentives. And again, you might be asking yourself, why did I do this? Sticking with the value of 3, first was that the unlocking business value. These incentives allow us to apply incentive funding from Microsoft to offset the cost of projects for our customers. Well, that's unlocking some great business value, if you ask me. Second, this agent links to documentation internal to our organization, as well as official Microsoft incentive documentation on the internet. And then lastly, this agent answers common incentive-specific questions and walks our employees through workflows like applying for incentives, determining eligibility of projects and customers, submitting claims, so on and so forth. A lot of times our coworkers go through me for this, but if I'm out of the office or it's after hours, this agent's awake 24/7, unlike me, and can answer questions that I might not be able to answer if I'm out of the office or busy on something else. So it really empowers what I'm delivering to the business to be available 24/7, which is super cool. Now that we have this custom agent, here's how we've been using it since we first discussed it in our most previous episode. One, this agent has now, when I've asked the agent to do so, but this agent has created a chart of Microsoft security workshops that we can provide to eligible customers that will be partially funded by Microsoft. Our sales team can reference this chart real time while in discussions with customers and look to see if customers are eligible to qualify for these security workshops. As we all know, security is a big deal these days. It gets more and more important. And being able to do security workshops for our customers that are partially funded by Microsoft is a big, big win. Second, I've also created a similar chart of Microsoft security briefings, which are a little different than workshops. A briefing is more of a one-to-many event. Think like webinars or lunch and learn events or in-person events where we can provide security briefings, which isn't as quite of a deep dive as a workshop, to our customers and prospects. And again, this will be partially funded by Microsoft as well. And since this is a real-time agent, our sellers can reference this at any time, day or night. Lastly, and this is a bit more complex, I had this agent create a chart of eligible Azure migrations that can be partially funded by Microsoft. Again, our sellers can reference this chart real time while in discussions with customers to see if some Microsoft funding can help offset the cost of an Azure migration. So you're asking me, those are three great use cases that this custom agent has enabled for our organization. And again, this agent's available real time, 24/7. And here's a part that I love. From a data visualization standpoint, this agent was able then to put this information into an Excel file as well as a PowerPoint file. Super cool. So not only can the sales team reference this agent real time, I've also got some documentation. Now, I had to pretty it up a little bit. It wasn't as beautiful as I wanted it to be. At the same time, it did like 80% of the work for me. And now it's available in an Excel spreadsheet and a PowerPoint file for reference as an individual file. Super cool. And as I've mentioned in previous episodes, I interacted with this agent as if it's a member of our team. I asked the agent to create these charts, and when I needed the charts to be changed, I asked the agent to do so. This iteration went back and forth, and the agent was updating the charts, asking if this data looked good. We were able to streamline what I needed to be able to present to the sales team, all while interacting in a human-like manner with the agent, which is kind of a trip. Um, and I didn't have to create the charts myself. I created the agent, as we mentioned in the previous episode, but it's now doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. And you might start hearing this phrase called human-led agents. This is an example of a human-led agent where I'm leading the agent to help us with our decision making, and then it can be used by our sales team member and anybody else to help with decision making. It's not automating tasks for us. That's another way you can use an agent, but this is more of a human-led agent, which operates under our oversight, human oversight, and is designed again to augment our decision making. Now that we have finished our deep dive into this custom agent, as I mentioned on our previous episode, let's discuss a few other custom agents that are popular these days and might be a good fit for you and your organization. First off, and we're seeing a lot of this in our customer base and with our friends and family, so to speak, an IT help desk agent. An IT help desk agent can automate responses to common IT support questions, help with password resets, software installation, troubleshooting, so on and so forth. You can use Copilot Studio to create this agent and pull in information from your internal sources or your internal help desk system, as well as pull in information out there on the internet from maybe your most popular platforms out there like Microsoft and others, so that an agent can help answer questions 24/7 to help augment your IT help desk services. Another great example that we're seeing is kind of a finance and budget agent, having an agent do some real-time updates on sort of your budget information, spending status, forecasts. A lot of this information is maybe in your ERP system or some other place, but it ends up being in Excel files. And agents can be created to reference that information and then make it available to everybody broadly, or just isolate the agent so it's only used by maybe your finance team to help the finance team make some data-driven decisions quickly without digging through too many spreadsheets, because the agent's digging through the spreadsheets for you. And lastly, and I'm going to bring up a little story about this one, maybe an HR policy or an HR FAQ agent, um, maybe to, provide employees some answers about questions about benefits, vacation policies, what's our holiday schedule, onboarding, things like that. One thing we're working on internally, and this is the little story I wanted to tell, our HR team and I are talking about using an agent maybe to help with certification. We're a technology company, and we have a lot of really, really smart people that take a lot of exams and get certified in a number of different um, industries and disciplines. It can be difficult to track. So we're going to start doing a project internally to see how we can leverage a Copilot agent to help with all of that. Thank you for attending this episode of What's New with Microsoft. Join us next time when we continue our series on Copilot agents. It'll likely be the last on Copilot agents for a little bit of time. I've got some other Microsoft updates I need to share. So we'll do one more next week. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, comment, and share it. It really helps our channels. And please don't forget to subscribe. And then lastly, if you're interested in learning more about Copilot agents, please go to our website at sourcepassmcoe.com to learn more and chat with one of our experts. Thanks. Bye.